It's a pretty friendly neighborhood.
Candace Carpenter loves her home.
We have little neighborhood parties and we walk around at night.
Though she isn't doing much walking outside lately.
It's exhausting and I do not feel safe, really.
Last week, her backyard was broken into.
Somebody took those pickets down, got into the shed, and stole a generator and a bike.
Sonia Rivera with the Riverside Meadows HOA says this is the third burglary in recent months.
We've had theft in the neighborhood. We have folks sleeping in our yards.
There are other issues, too, like graffiti, litter, alcohol, and used drug paraphernalia at their park. Problems, she says, started after the marshalling yard opened as an emergency homeless shelter just outside their neighborhood.
Someone that lives here, I just don't feel safe anymore.
The neighborhood city council member Jose Velasquez says it's a complicated issue.
We're always trying to balance safety with the most compassionate approach to handling our unhoused neighbors and finding, some stability.
The marshalling yard opened as an emergency shelter in July of last year and was only supposed to operate for a year. But as the city is still facing a critical shortage of beds for those experiencing homelessness, City Council voted to fund its indefinite operation back in September.
We can't just shut that down and put 300 people out on the street.
But these problems facing Riverside Meadows aren't just a nuisance. They're expensive, too.
We've had to put the no trespassing signs. We've had to rebuild our sprinkler system.
Neighbors want to see additional patrols or more direct lines of transportation to and from the shelter.
I want them to have somewhere to sleep that's not outside, right? But the problem is they are just dumped off into our neighborhood.
While there are public transportation options, Velasquez believes it's about bringing the neighborhood, police, and the city's homeless strategy office together.
What do you say to those neighbors that don't feel safe in their own homes currently?
If we're having issues in the neighborhood with crime, that is very different than having issues with the marshalling yard just being there. And we want to ensure that we are drawing a distinction between those two things.
And with no alternatives to the shelter currently in sight, he says these solutions may take time.
It is a work in progress, and unfortunately, with most things, it never comes fast enough.
Neighbors say it's taken too long already.
You can't just put it here and then ignore us and not address our concerns.
Reporting in Austin, Andrew Freeman, CBS Austin News.
Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and get the latest news by downloading the CBS Austin News app.